You ever have a day when you're not sure what you're doing?
Every day.
Last month and a half.
Last month and a half, yeah.
Be careful the way you say it.
I'd like to start this message today without my own words. I've been using other people's words a lot lately, so let's use somebody else's again. And if you don't mind, I'd like to use his voice too. Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I looked in the mirror this morning and I realized that I am the guy that used to listen to that song, thinking about guys my age now. And I am the guy that listens to that song and still thinks I'm the guy that I was back then. But this morning another aspect of that hit me, which was there's words in this song that ironically enough make me think of Jesus. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost at such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost. Like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. All the images in this song are things I could pick up out of Scripture and throw at you. The woman with the lost coin. People seeking to put their lives together in such a way that they live in that paradise with God and themselves. Old man, take a look at my life. Old man who got up on a cross, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. And that's the way it is for all of us. We are looking to be, and we are like that young carpenter from Nazareth. We just don't always realize that we have the ability to be him too. We get caught up in the everyday living that we're doing. And there's a light or a beacon, we call it faith. You know, Scripture tells us the people who sat in darkness have seen a great light. John, with the light of a new day, recognizes, as I've said before, in his cousin, a divine sense of being, and directs people to see it and to say, this one embodies that. We look at people that we respect, that give of themselves, that live with a sense of grace or a sense of spirituality, and we look at them and say, a light shines in that person. Yet I look at everybody and see that potential, if not that reality. Every one of us has the gift of God's grace. It isn't something you are ever going to earn. You have it. It's yours. You can have it to hold, or you can have it to throw down, or you can have it to use. You already have it. And it's that light that says, I am young and old. I am in paradise. I live in that place of which singers sing and writers write, and poet, if I can make it into a verb. And it hits anyone and everyone in their own time and place. Anybody here never had an inspired moment? Never had that eureka, I get it? Ever driving down the road and you look at the twisted trunk of a tree and see beauty? It doesn't have to be just the sunrise and the sunset. Have you ever looked into the face of an old man and seen their youth? Or looked into the face of a child and seen the wisdom of the ages? I know there's people in this congregation who have experienced all of that this week. And there is a light that shines in our darkness. Most of us get up every day, pull on our clothes, and just think about what we have to do with the day. Get to work, make time, deal with our health, cope with a friend, balance our bank books and checkbooks, and get the groceries, fight the traffic, shovel the sidewalk. Wish we were someplace warmer. Wish we were someplace more comfortable. Wish we were with friends. We spend our lives looking at the things that we have to be doing in the daily mundane routine without ever stopping to look at, I have this life, and I have this gift, and I have these things that are in me that are of divine nature. Is there anyone here who does not believe the words in the Bible? Thinks it's a bunch of bunk, should be thrown out? I'm not asking if you take it literally. I'm not asking if you go through it, and sort of, I'm going to use the words Pentecostal fervor, looking for, detailed rules of living. I'm asking in general context, do you believe what's in there? I assumed you do because you're here, but, you never know. Because at the very opening of the book, it says that we are made in the image of God. And it says that we are made good. In my opinion, that was all that ever needed to be written. Everything else written after that was the story of the peoples who struggled to know that truth. And that we have societies and civilizations of the Babylons and the Israelites and the Hebrew people and the Jewish nation and the times of Jesus when people didn't know that God was good. They came to believe in judgments, criticisms, conquering nations and heroes and power. And they never stopped to get the message, which is in the very start of the book. The ending of the book is in the beginning. You were made in God's image, and you are good. Now, when we look in the mirror, we don't see that. We don't step up and go, I'm made in God's image. My, God's ugly. We don't step back and see that the mirror we have to look at isn't the one on the wall. It's the mirror of faith. We have to let the particular light shine. Have you ever been in the woods overnight? And I don't mean with flashlights and neon signs and your car parked next to the campsite. I mean really in the woods. Nothing around you. And you know, there's an old saying that the darkest hour is the hour just before dawn. And you know that you can be in the woods in the darkest hour and you can't see the trees for the dark. That's where most of us live. Most of us live in that dark place where we can't see the trees for the dark. We can't see our lives for the dark. We can't see the faith that is the things that are around us because we have not let the light of our faith shine. You don't recognize anything in the dark. You need the light to see. And now, you know, being human beings with an ocular nerve system and all the rest, we need the light of the sun or the light of some sort of illumination to generate the cells, or to stimulate the cells so that we can see things, we can visually see things. But when you talk about spiritual insight, you can put 15 suns up in the sky and it's not going to show us anything. We do need the light of faith to see. We need the light of faith to let us know that we are in a good place, that we are in a great place, that we do live in that paradise that makes us think of two. A long time ago, I learned that I don't do anything by myself. Now, I live alone, so I say, until I spend all my time in there talking to myself and God, and I realize there's three of us there, and one of us is crazy. And I jest, but it's true. The person I have a great deal of respect for told me that I would never, ever survive in this world until I learned to make two friends. Two friends. Everybody wants two friends, right? Some want more, but we all need two friends. The first friend we need is our Creator. The second friend we need is ourself. I was told, actually, until I could stay home, watch a movie by myself with popcorn and all the rest, and then the next day tell everybody that I'd had a great evening with my best friend, that my life wouldn't be great. And the woman who told me that still keeps reminding me that that's the way it is. The fact that she's my mother-in-law? I don't know. But there's a wisdom to it. And this is the truth. Every one of you is capable this morning of getting up, of going out to your kitchen, getting a cup of coffee, cup of tea, glass of orange juice, whatever, sitting someplace in a corner in front of a quiet chair and offering up a prayer to the universe and saying you'd start your day with a sense of faith. But you didn't. You came here. It's because faith is important. Faith is the thing that informs us in our daily living, but we don't do it just by ourselves. We do it together so that we can do it alone. We come to that place to remind ourselves that there are other places that we can connect and be. And so I bring me here so that the me that is truly me can be with the you that is truly you. And that together we can celebrate the fact that God is with us, in us, around us, between us. Jesus of Nazareth had an amazing connection with God. We know that. You know, we speak of God's Son. We speak of God's only begotten Son. We speak of all these special arrangement he had with God, if you want to put it that way, that special connection. Some people like to think that it is so divinely pure that no one else could attain it. Not being the case, quite frankly, why do you waste his time with us? He didn't need us. And understanding what we understand about his message of love and forgiveness and of hope and understanding the God that he was partnered with would have forgiven him if he hadn't done anything. But not only did he connect, he empowered. He took a band of disciples, people, ragtag band of people that just could have got up in the mornings and had their coffee, gone fishing, gone down tax collecting, doing whatever their jobs were. And they walked away from that stuff to spend time with him. Because the power of God is magnetic, and the power of God is a light that transforms people and its lives. In it we recognize new things. So here's the truth. We live lives that begin. I can play you a song that I know. I saw the faces. I put on Neil Young, and most of us were in our teens and 20s again. And we were looking at that song from the other side. And from this side, the song looks the same way. It's a song about love's lost, hopes, living, trusting, being. And these are the reasons why we come to church, for love, hopes, being, and being together. And knowing that the one who walks with us keeps us ageless. Aging, growing old, growing hard. We hear all these things and they seem to all come together. People talk about their aches and pains. Somebody the other day told me that they had some aches and pains and that their life was like seriously damaged because of it. And I went home and talked to my neighbor who is in his 20s and has terrible knees, and thought, wow, it's a good thing he doesn't have that attitude. He's got like 70 more years to go with it. It's an attitude. And whatever our condition of life is, whatever it is we face, whatever it is we will face, we need to know that when we look in the mirror, we are looking at something that is divine. We need to know that when we look at people, we are looking at people who are made in the image of God, that they are good. Good. And then we need to understand that that which is good is ourselves. It is so easy to admire other people. Now, I'm not talking about conceit. I'm talking about true understanding that we are not evil. We are not evil. That we walk with God's grace and God's wisdom. We walk with God's truth. We walk with God's life. We walk in God's love. And that is the light. You know, this series of passages that we've been dealing with over the last weeks in our scriptures all talk around light. And I can't stress it enough. The people who sit in darkness have seen a great light. Now, at no time, other than the proverbial Star of Bethlehem, has there been in the stratosphere of the earth, or the upper atmosphere, a light so brilliant that every person on the earth saw it at one time. There was no celestial body that actually did that. So what are they talking about? They're not talking about a light from above. They're not talking about the light of 1,000 stars all of a sudden focusing on planet Earth. They're talking about a light that exists in here. Because this is where our darkness is. This is where our loneliness is. This is where our pain is. This is where our fear is. And this is where the light that touches them will live. Look in the mirror. Seriously, look in the mirror. Most people don't like to look in the mirror. I hate it. There's a guy there that I haven't recognized for a few years. But I'm starting to see who he really is. And I have to tell you, my body seems to have not kept pace with my age. I think I'll be...